For all those people that like chicken pot pie, this is a cracking recipe, and obviously we're not using any canned soup. Oh, look at that. That is our chicken and red lentil pie. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing a chicken and red lentil pie. I've rinsed my red lentils. Now you can use green or brown, up to you. You would have to cook them maybe a little bit longer than the red. The red are going to be a nice creamy inside with a nice milky sauce. We've got celery, carrots. I'm using chicken breast, a little bit of garlic, Dijon mustard, bit of seasoning, and I'm going to use herb de Provence. That's going to make a nice change in here. Right, come on. Start with some veg and then we'll get onto the chicken and we'll get cooking. Now, I've made my own shortcrust pastry, but you use ready rolled. Okay, come on, we've got carrots, we've got celery. All this stuff wants to be cubed up and back in that bowl. As big as small as you like, you know, it's entirely up to you. Now don't forget, change out the veg if you don't like celery or whatever. Change it out, it doesn't matter. This is more like a stew filling, if you like, that's going inside the pie. Carrots and celery can go in the same tub, they'll be cooked together. Okay, so we got our celery and our carrots in there. There's quite a lot of carrots actually for 2 carrots. But not to worry, it's going in a pie. Our garlic, the usual, just smash and mince up. As big or as small as you like, as usual. Good enough. Back in that tub. Onion. Dice. As big or small as you like. Doesn't matter. Back in that tub. Okay, chicken breast. We want some cubes of chicken breast. As big or small as you like, again, entirely up to you, but it's going in a pie. So just give that a little bit of thought. Job done. How easy is that? Chicken breast cubed. Okay, we want to get the pan on and we want to go in there with our chicken stock. Straight in there, and we are going to cook our lentils. Cook the lentils for about 10 to 12 minutes, something like that. So I'm just going to bring it up to the boil and I'm going to chuck my lentils in. Now the good thing about using red lentils cook a little bit quicker than the brown and the green. Okay, we're coming up to a simmer, it'll start boiling in a minute. In there with those lentils. Little stir, we don't want these things sticking on the bottom. And we're just going to cook these, like I say, 10 to 12 minutes. And they'll be softened, but they're not going to be fully cooked. And it's a tad warm in here for making pies, but anyway. They're fluffing up, look at those. Okay, turn off the heat when you've got this nice, soft, creamy red lentils and just put to one side. Grab a pan. Okay, straightforward one. In there with some butter and some oil, or either or. Little flame on. We're going to cook the chicken. In there, your chicken. And we're going to season the chicken whilst it's in the pan. A little spread out on there, some salt, a little bit of pepper, white pepper, black pepper, it doesn't matter. This is black pepper. And we want a bit of smoked paprika. A little bit of a sear cook on there. And we're going to take it out. So just a couple of minutes or so, you know. Nice and steady. That will do. We don't need to take the chicken too far. We're not trying to brown it up in any way. We want that out of there and into a tub. Just leave that watery, buttery oil in the bottom of there. We're going to use it. There's some flavour there, look, from the chicken. Put a little bit more butter in there. Little flame on. Celery and carrots in first. In we go. And it's going to be a little cook on there. A little bit of salt, not much. Depends what chicken stock you're using. If you're using a low sodium, that's fine. If you're just using out of a cube, it is full of salt, so watch what you're doing. Nice little cook on there, look. Obviously this is the hardest veg, so give this a couple of minutes before chucking your onions in. When you've had a couple of minutes in there with your onions, nice little stir through. Start to take the rawness out of that onion, soften it up. And then we're chucking some garlic. In there with your garlic. Again, just take out the rawness of the garlic in there. Okay, like I said at the start, I'm using herb de Provence. And there's a link on the channel if you want to go make it. I'm going in there with about a teaspoon. That should flavour up this pie. Wow, it smells amazing. Now I put this in now because this can bloom just a little bit with the veggies, you know. Oh, that smells incredible. Just give that about 30 seconds. I'm going to chuck our lentils in here. In there, our lentils. Bring it all in. Oh yeah. That's a cracking pie filling right there. Look at that. Just give it a little minute to all come together. We want to be going in there with a good teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Stir it in. In there with our milk. And just let it have a little minute in there. It's going to thicken up. That is our fantastic pie filling right there. All we got to do is chuck the chicken back in here and give it about a 5-minute cook. In there with our chicken and any juices, doesn't matter. A good 5 minutes in there and it should thicken up. For all those people that like chicken pot pie, This is a cracking recipe, and obviously we're not using any canned soup. Okay, we're thickening up quite nicely there, look. We're just going to give that probably another minute, just thicken it a bit more. I don't want it to go too dry. We actually want a nice wet pie filling inside. Of course we do. Look at that. Okay, I think we're about cooked at that. We've got enough moisture, gravy to come out of our pie when we serve it up. That will do. Flame off. That goes to one side, that cools down. We roll out our pastry. Okay, I'm going for a springform tin today. That should do it, and I think we're going to fill it right to the top because there's a lot of mix in there. Pastry, ready rolled pastry. This is my ready rolled, obviously. A little bit of flour on there, and out we come. You want some for the bottom and sides and some for the top. Of course we do, come on. I think that'll about get it, don't you? Let's have that rolled up and chucked in that tin. Come on. Straight in there. No hassle. Just work it in all the way down to the bottom. Leave an overhang if you can. That will be an advantage to us today, because we've got quite a lot of filling there. Now obviously you want an overhang, but you don't need as much as that, so we can trim that already. Just trim it off. Get a pair of scissors or a knife, leave some hanging over. Don't trim it all off, whatever you do. Okay, round the sides, make sure you squash it up nice and gentle. We need to be putting the contents of our pie in there, and don't forget, cram it in. We're making the pie, we want a proper filled pie. Now you could let it cool down an awful lot more than I done, but there you go. That's the contents in our pie. We want a lid. So grab your pastry and roll out your lid. I think that'll fit. Come on. I think that looks okay. Now you can actually just run a bit of water around there if you want, but the lid's going to stick to it anyway, so I'm not going to bother. That's up to you. I'll leave that to you as an option. Okay, this is where we're going to take a little bit of that off. Actually, we've got a bit too much overhang there, look. Just make it easier for ourselves. Of course we are. Right, that's fabulous. Don't forget, all pastry can be used. Take your pastry and tuck it over the top and in there. So you're bringing that bottom bit over, that overhang, into the top. Now don't worry about how neat it looks, we're not bothered about that. We just want to get that pastry in there. We'll tidy that up in a second. Okay, so to be fair, that will cook like that, and it looks okay. It really does look okay. We haven't done anything. But you know, you can do the old 2 finger, 1 finger if you want to put something on there, make a little pattern. Personally, I'm not bothered. You know, that would suffice already with what we've already done. So just make sure you've got your oven on for about 200 degrees. And what we need to do is put a couple of vents in there, good vents. Grab yourself a tray. Now you can egg wash or milk wash your pastry top, that's entirely up to you. I'm not going to bother with mine today because this is my pastry, and it might look a little bit paler, but it's going to cook fine. That will do. Right, let's stick that in the oven. Going in the oven about 25-30 minutes. Okay, there's our pie done. That's enough time. Oh, look at that. That looks superb. We are out. On there. Okay, we're not going to wait around. It's a little bit warm actually. We're going to put it on this plate. What I'm anticipating, that gravy fluid inside is going to come out of there. Oh, nice and steady. Come on, let's pop the tin. Oh, we got a good pie there, look. That is one good looking pie right there. Look at that. We didn't egg wash it, we didn't milk it, anything like that. Still got a lovely top on there. We want that on that plate. Come on. That is boiling. There you go. How easy is that? Come on, you know me, we're not waiting around. We're going to get straight in there. We want to get a slice of pie. In we go. Come on. Oh, look at that. Come on. Just look at that. That is our chicken and red lentil pie. That is fabulous. Come on. Oh, you know we're going to be in. Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, chicken, lentils and all that veg, herbs de Provence. Oh, that is superb. That is a standalone right there. The seasoning is absolutely spot on. The lentils gives it that creamy, thick, gravy type feeling. It's absolutely superb. Oh yeah. That is fabulous. And you know, for me, a little bit of English mustard. Oh yeah. In there. Come on, get some mustard on. Oh, another world. Another world. Superb. What a fantastic pie. That is absolutely tremendous. Nice bits of chicken. We've got that red lentil in there, which is giving us that nice creamy thick gravy. Look at it. That is superb. That is a cracking pie. Fabulous for any time of year, but obviously coming up to winter, autumn. Oh man. Oh yeah. Bingo. Fantastic. If you like what we're doing, don't forget to share with your friends. Tell them how easy it is to make a chicken and red lentil pie. Really easy. If you like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. We'll catch you in the next video. Oh yeah.